Hello, today's video we have the following content.
Wang Yibo sued and the verdict was awarded. Wang Yibo won the reputation protection case. On the afternoon of March 28, the well-known entertainer Wang Yibo sued Zhu Moumou for infringement of reputation rights, and the hearing was held in Wuxi Binhu Court. The reporter learned that in July 2022, the defendant Zhu Moumou posted a derogatory statement involving the plaintiff Wang Yibo in his WeChat Moments. Later, screenshots of the moments were forwarded to various online platforms in large numbers, and Wang Yibo sued him to court. Wuxi Binhu Court stated that first of all, no organization or individual may infringe the reputation rights of others by insulting and slandering. WeChat Moments was also a public communication platform. WeChat users are not allowed to post content that infringes on the rights of others in WeChat Moments. In this case, the defendant had no objection to the use of WeChat ID. The defendant argued that the comments made in his circle of friends were legitimate comments to supervise and criticize public figures, and the court did not accept this argument. In addition, the defendant also argued that his circle of friends was posted in groups, with a visible range of 200 people, but the evidence he provided was insufficient to prove the specific settings of the circle of friends involved in the case. Later, the circle of friends was forwarded to a public network platform by others, causing a huge impact. The defendant should bear corresponding legal responsibility for his actions. The court stated that the screenshots of moments posted by the defendant in this case were forwarded in large numbers on multiple online platforms, with a high number of views and dissemination, which had a huge negative impact on Wang Yibo, and the defendant should bear the responsibility for eliminating the impact. In the end, the Wuxi Binhu Court ruled that the defendant Zhu Moumou should immediately delete the content in moments related to Wang Yibo published on July 11, 2022 after this judgment takes effect. The defendant posted an apology statement at the top of his WeChat Moments within 7 days. The moments were set up to be visible to everyone and published for no less than 10 days. If the defendant fails to issue a statement as required, the court will publish the apology statement on a national news website at the defendant's expense. The defendant published an apology statement in the People's Court newspaper, and the publication costs were borne by the defendant. In addition, the defendant shall compensate the plaintiff Wang Yibo for mental damages of 40,000 yuan and attorney fees of 30,000 yuan within 7 days after this judgment takes effect. Wang Yibo's other claims were dismissed. Sudan, a judge of the First Civil Division of Wuxi Binhu Court, said that this case is a typical online reputation infringement dispute. The defendant posted a derogatory statement about the plaintiff in his WeChat Moments. Later, a screenshot of the moments was a large number of messages were forwarded to various online platforms, and the plaintiff filed a lawsuit in court, demanding that the defendant delete the relevant content in moments, apologize, and compensate for mental damages, solatium, and economic losses. Peng Yangxiang, judge of the First Civil Division of Wuxi Binhu Court, said that now, there are more than 1 billion netizens in China, and tragedies caused by online violence have also occurred from time to time in recent years. In September last year, the Supreme People's Court, the Supreme People's Procuratorate and the Ministry of Public Security jointly issued the guiding opinions on punishing internet violence violations and crimes in accordance with the law. Peng Yangxiang reminded that whether it is on a semi-public carrier like Moments or a public carrier like Weibo, netizens must pay attention to their speech, and their speech must be rational, objective and true, and do not touch the moral and legal bottom lines, otherwise they will bear relevant legal responsibilities. Wang Yibo wins the case. Wang Yibo sued a black fan for copyright infringement and received a compensation of 40,000 yuan. The Binhu District People's Court of Wuxi City held a hearing on Wang Yibo's case against a black fan for copyright infringement. The court ruled that the defendant Zhu and others should publicly apologize to Wang Yibo and compensate Wang Yibo for his mental damage 40,000 yuan in gold. Review of the case: Zhu and other black fans posted inappropriate remarks in WeChat Moments, and the content that defamed Wang Yibo was screenshotted and forwarded by others, and was later reposted in large numbers on Weibo and other online platforms in the form of related topics. The number of views and spread was high, exceeding 1 million. The amount of reading has had a huge negative impact on artist Wang Yibo. What is a professional black fan? Professional black fans, an internet buzzword, also referred to as black fans or professional black fans by ordinary fans, refer to professional black fans who are paid employees. In recent years, with the continuous development of internet celebrity culture, there are even teams that specialize in making money from this. In the fan economy and entertainment consumption, both professional fans and professional black people have capital support. As long as they share celebrities' works and gossip in the name of fans, they can get traffic and get financial support from the platform or the back end. However, if you accidentally get out of the circle, it will be destroyed. The red line of the law may face legal sanctions and economic penalties. As a result of the judgment, the defendant Zhu and others should immediately delete the content on Wang Yibo's Moments published on July 11, 2022 after this judgment takes effect, and post it at the top of WeChat Moments within 7 days after this judgment takes effect. The apology statement is set to be visible to everyone in the circle of friends and published no less than 10 times. The defendant shall publish an apology statement in the People's Court daily 7 days after this judgment becomes legally effective. The defendant shall compensate the plaintiff Wang Yibo for mental damage cancellation of 40,000 yuan and attorney fees of 30,000 yuan within 7 days after this judgment becomes legally effective. Wang Yibo's other claims were dismissed. Judging from the case, Sudan, judge of the First Civil Division of Binhu Court, said this case is a typical online reputation infringement dispute. The defendant put the plaintiff's name in the derogatory remarks in the same paragraph, which may cause negative associations among some viewers who do not know the truth. The screenshot of the circle of friends was widely forwarded by online platforms because the internet has a fast transmission speed and range. Due to its wide characteristics, the relevant bad remarks had a greater negative impact on the plaintiff himself. Peng Yangxiang, judge of the First Civil Division of Binhu Court, said China's internet users have exceeded 1 billion. Infringements of personality rights online are mostly related to reputation rights, privacy rights, etc. If the circumstances are serious, online violence will result. Last September, the Supreme People's Court, the Supreme People's Procuratorate and the Ministry of Public Security issued relevant guidance on the management of online violence. In this case, whether it is in a semi-public medium like Moments or a completely public medium like Weibo, netizens must also pay attention to their speech, be rational, objective, and truthful, and not touch the bottom line of morality and law. If relevant personal rights and interests are violated, relevant legal responsibilities will be borne. Protect the health of the internet. The verdict of this case reminds every online citizen that freedom of speech on the internet is not without boundaries. Today, with the increasing development of digitalization, each of us should become a responsible online citizen and jointly create a healthy and civilized online space. The successful judgment in this case not only safeguarded Wang Yibo's legal rights and interests, but also set a clear legal benchmark for the order of speech in cyberspace. It reminds netizens that when expressing opinions on the internet, they should abide by laws and regulations, respect the reputation rights of others, and jointly maintain a healthy and harmonious internet environment. At the same time, this case also demonstrates the determination and courage of entertainers in safeguarding their own rights and interests. As a public figure, Wang Yibo's right to reputation is protected by law. When faced with online infringement, he chose to protect his rights and interests through legal means, setting an example for other public figures who have been infringed on the internet. This incident not only emphasized that the legitimate rights and interests of entertainers should be respected and protected, but also reminded netizens of the legality and compliance of speech on the internet. In the internet age, the speed and scope of information dissemination are wide-ranging. Therefore, public figures need to remain vigilant when faced with online rumors and infringements, and take appropriate measures to safeguard the rights and interests in a timely manner. Through this case, we have also seen the importance of law in safeguarding the rights and interests of public figures. The existence and enforcement of laws are not only important means to protect individuals' legitimate rights and interests, but also the cornerstone of maintaining social fairness and justice. It is believed that under the protection of the law, the rights and interests of public figures will be more effectively protected, and the cyberspace will be clearer and healthier. We hope that in the days to come, cyberspace will become clearer and clearer, and freedom of speech and the protection of reputation rights will be better balanced. It is in this balance that cyberspace can develop healthily, allowing people to express their opinions and viewpoints freely while also avoiding inappropriate speech and infringement of the rights of others. At the same time, We also call on netizens to consciously abide by laws and regulations and jointly create a civilized and healthy online environment. As a member of cyberspace, everyone has the responsibility to protect their own freedom of speech, and at the same time, they should respect and protect the legitimate rights and interests of others. Only with the joint efforts of everyone can cyberspace become a more harmonious and positive information exchange platform and make greater contributions to the development and progress of society. The events and judgments described in this article are all based on public information and are intended to convey positive energy to society and advocate the spirit of the rule of law. The cases mentioned in the article do not represent the position or views of any party. For issues such as relevant legal liability and compensation amount, please refer to the final judgment of the court. Such a statement is very important. It reminds readers to view the information in the article rationally and realize that the events and judgments described therein are only the results of the compilation of public information and are not final court decisions. At the same time, it also reminds readers to respect legal procedures and judicial decisions when facing similar incidents, and not to believe rumors or speculations to avoid unnecessary misunderstandings or misleading.
Thank you for watching the video. If this is your first time watching a video, please subscribe to the channel, like and leave your comments to help us develop your channel.